Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome back to another episode of another pod. Do not relent. Get your nipples ready because we're going nipples first into the Voidspire this week. I'm Slidewhistle.
Hello, it is I, Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. Call up your favorite Ice Mage and make them cast a Frost Orb, because we need those nipples nice and stiff as we venture into the void. What is the name of this one?
Spire!
The Voidspire. It's very funny because so many people, they don't know where anything is unless you tell them in the raid group. So as we were piling in, people are like, where are we going? Voidspire. Where is that? Voidstorm. Where is that? Like Void Pike. It was just very, and then Lynn had to do that like probably 4 or 5 times. And it was just very funny. It's like Void. That's the name of the game today.
You know, like, I asked Slide not on the call because I was also confused about where we were going. First off, I wasn't sure like which raid we were going to. I was a little late. Also, I was like positively zooted. I was very, very high. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it was all laid out, all the information. Someone also did ask what raid are we doing, and Lynn said Voidspire in Discord and in guild chat. And then it was funny when you were like, "Where is this?" And I was like, "Voidstorm." Where? In the middle, the Voidspire.
So yes, it was explained a lot, but I was not listening.
I gotta say, I don't mean to rip off the Band-Aid and swing for the fences as the truth teller that I am. People were really excited that when you walk through the portal, you didn't walk through the portal. Felt a little lame to me. So you queue up, you talk to Terrell, and he goes, "We're about to march on the Voidspire. Go through that big green portal, champion." But then when you do, you load into just where you were standing. He's like, "Congratulations, you're in the instance now."
Yeah, they just recreated it 1 for 1 in an instance form, I mean, I guess you don't really see that too often, but it is kind of just like, I don't know, the same thing.
It is to the point where like I did not like notice or care.
Well, you were zooted. This whole recreation's gonna be really tainted by the fact that you were blowing clouds during our first. We had nervous little echolocation was over there. I don't even know who this guy is. And you're over. He's like, "Oh, I'm scared. You've been here a couple times, right, Panda Guy? What do you have to think?" And you're like, "What?"
No, I was like unable to respond. I was like thankful I was even able to raid.
Wait,
and that's why like I was like in my own world. And I acknowledge now, Aaron, that I think you made a comment about my bow, but I did not. I was unable to respond in that moment.
Because it was coworker type humor. I walked up and I was like, "Sick bow," and you didn't move. And so Growlita just kind of picked up her staff like, "Anyways, fighting boss."
This is also all my first time hearing this because I was raiding with the other raid group because we ain't got no fucking healers. So I had to get my paladin and go over there. We'll talk about that in a minute. Wait, so I'm sorry. So Echolocation, who by the way, Echolocation, or whatever his name is Cass's friend and or coworker. I forget which one is first.
Okay.
I think it's both, but yeah, and he's joining us like permanently, I believe, but like he may or may not be there every time.
Because I'm not like a guy where it's like, "I'm gonna know him, I'm gonna vet him," because I don't care. But I saw it. He was like, "Okay, make sure that you stick by like echo healing, we'll call him." And then I did J scroll all the way down. Echo healing. He is in the Voidspire. I was like, "Oh, we know nothing about this guy, huh?"
We had to have an officers meeting before, which is just us getting in the voice chat, because we didn't know if we had enough bodies, because we were going to be one team, because we weren't sure if someone was going to show up. Someone was late, 2 people were late, and then Rosh didn't show up to like 11. So we're like, maybe we can be one group. And also, I was like, "Hey, who's this Echo guy?" And Lynn was like, "I learned that he was going to raid with us an hour and a half before raid." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, but not like that. That's fine. Like, I'm fine with learning that we're getting new healers. Like, moment of, but like what I was not really cool with was the fact that we learned that there were like 6 people that just didn't show up. That was not cool.
Okay, so who's missing?
I don't know. I just remembered hearing this. I just remembered hearing that there were a bunch of people. I know Rosh had exams, and that's why like he was not able to join until very late.
Does
Malgone.
Nuss exist? Was Nuss on your team? Because I feel
No.
like unless he was on a character I don't know, he was missing too.
He was out for something. He may have gotten the new job, though. He was interviewing and did something. We didn't have Cynical on either team, our usual paladin healer. We didn't have Malgone, who's now playing on a character named Zuby or Zufi. I don't know what his name is, but he's like 82. There was somebody else who also just wasn't prepared, like, level-wise. So, yeah, we a little bit shorter than usual. I think next week maybe will be better.
Speaking about being prepared level-wise, I won a little bet with Slidewhistle.
You only won the bet because I made the bet, and because you had a break there in your little survivor game.
Yeah, but I still got leveled and geared to 220 in time.
I was about to be like, how did you do that? I didn't see you on. But I learned years ago you have, like the true subtlety hunter that you are, the survival hunter, you've obscured yourself so I can never actually see you on.
I thought I turned that off, but I don't know. Maybe it's still on.
Maybe not. Maybe you were just bawling when I wasn't looking. But yeah,
He was like morning.
Yeah, I was like, it was like fully overnight on the weekend. Like I pulled like almost an all-nighter.
Yeah, when you showed up on Metaloid, I was very surprised because, yeah, I was like, the only thing I've even seen of this guy was he was in the Haranier Haranier zone at some point. And then here he goes. You had more. I know it's because I'm cloth, and also I guess I'm being held back by my shirt being terrible. But you had more health than me, and I was like, this guy's cheating.
And then like the first loot drop of the entire season for our raid team was a gun as well. I was like, hell yeah.
Okay, so now that we've established all of that, let's go back to Echo and you. Did he actually talk to you? Was he actually addressing you, or was that?
No, Echo wasn't addressing me, but Aaron was addressing me.
Yes,
That's the bow thing.
I walked by him and said, "Cool bow, like very demure," and then it hung in the air like a stale crisp. And Immune didn't even move. It wasn't even like he like looked at me to like start typing. It's like he was high in the game. He just stood there staring into space. So I was like, okay, getting ready for the next pull, I guess.
Yeah, so I will be #above the influence tonight when we head back into the Voidspire.
So I guess walk me through your guys' raid night. It's weird. I mean, like I looked over and I could see, but I have never healed a raid on Holy Paladin, so I was just staring at my bars the entire time, like, what do I press? I think I press this.
So I think both raid groups ended up at the same spot. So like we started in the Voidspire, and I think we each got 3 bosses down. Is that what you guys got done?
Yes, and we pulled some of the dragons in the 4th one.
We did
like,
not
didn't
do
even,
that.
yeah.
So our raid group was characterized by everyone was doing what's the song like? Slide to the right, slide to the left. Everyone was doing the shuffle.
The cha-cha slide.
Everyone was doing the cha-cha slide for what they've done for like a long time. So I feel like there was a lot of rust. Like we had Bear, who has been healing for a long time, tanking. And then we had Lynn on some person.
He was healing on his evoker.
Yeah, it was just so like there was a lot of things of like, make sure to do tank mechanic. I don't know what that is. Well, it has been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like everyone was in positions that they normally aren't anymore. And then we also had like some brand new raiders, I think, overall, like across both teams, or like and then people that we actually haven't raided with before. So it was a whole lot of like confusion. I was talking with Papa Cheese about it last night after raid. And I said it kind of felt like that point of a TV show where like a new season happens and then like half the cast of characters is new randomly.
You have to deal with Cousin Oliver being there. It's like, Cousin Oliver, who we've always known. And you as a viewer are like, this feels a little clunky.
Yeah, I love opening raid nights. Because, yeah, I mean, for me, it felt really weird because, like, I haven't raided with like the majority of these people in a half raid in a while, you know? It was kind of cool getting to see how Gandalin raid leads. Very, very demure. My favorite part was, so we're on the first boss too. We also have a new bear tank, Luscious. Whenever I say his name, I put my hands on my heads and I shake my hips because I'm Luscious. That's how I imagine him. I don't know why. I actually did some dungeons with him, some Mythic Zeros the other day, and he's really chill, really cool. He's a wrestling fan. We chatted, but I don't think he's ever raided with us before done content. Bear claimed that he's been in the guild since 2011, since Phoenix Fusion, and I was like, is this true, Bear?
I feel like Bear just says that sometimes, but like, I don't know, it could be true. That predates us, so maybe he has been.
But so like he had some kinks to work out for he was tanking. But so Ganelin was
like foot stuff or leather.
Because he has 4 feet because he's a bear.
That's true. Furry and feet. Yeah. That's a lot of kinks to work out.
Galen was going over the raid and Fireballs was spamming in chat. You said you were gonna let us raw dog this, Galen. Let us raw dog this fight. No explanations. And I was like, oh my god, Fireballs, stop saying raw dog.
Because like, it was funny because like I would occasionally look over to see like how they were doing when we were like, waiting for our pull timer or whatnot. And then I would just see like their chat popping off, like Fireballs like / yelling the entire raid. I was like, what is going on over there, Slide?
I guess it makes sense.
It was weird because I feel like there weren't a lot of changes. There were a few people missing, but our chat was very focused. It was like there was not a lot of crosstalk. There was not a lot of goofy goobering. It was just mostly Lynn talking, and then the tanks. And then that was it. I really didn't hear from anyone else.
Did you guys call your mechanics tic-tac-toe for the first boss? Because I think we definitely got to start promoting Cha-Cha Slide. I think that's way funner.
I saw like, I was actually like first off, I want to say that like that first boss did take us a while, actually. I feel like that is the most we've wiped on a first boss in a hot minute. Or am I forgetting something?
No, you're not forgetting anything. I just want to say I love the man very much. But I think a lot of that was my friend Linathan was stuck in his paper trail and he wasn't just living the dream. Because yes, it's separated into, I think it's like a 16-bit, or it's tic-tac-toe, so it's probably 3x3, a 9 square thing. And from the sound of it, he was like, between kills was like entering in the position on his chart to be like, so that we don't cross anything over. And then he'd be like, I'm sorry, I didn't account for the X in square 3. And it's like, just get out of Excel and just live your life, man. Especially because there's a lot of time, because he was the shot caller. He would tell us, go kill this one. And so we would go, and then we would get marched on, and he'd be like, I'm sorry, I said X, we should have done circle.
Yeah, that happened to us too. I honestly feel like it's one of those, I think it is a harder first boss. And I think you're right, maybe a little bit, that like less pre-planning and more just actively executing. But god damn, because Ganelin we were doing it, and like I don't think he was doing all the sheets and paper. He was kind of winging it a little bit, and same thing happened. We just kept getting marched on by the guys. It's a weird mechanic, and it's one that I feel like I don't have to know because I'm like, well, the group will just go there, and the raid leader will ping it. So it's probably one of the harder ones for the raid lead to like strategize for.
Also, I completely lied to Pablo, and I'm so sorry because I was embarrassed, so I never went back and corrected it. So,
what did you say to poor Pablo?
Pablo typed and asked if we're supposed to damage the summoners, the tic-tac-toe pieces when we take them out. And on the comms, I was like, yeah, you have to kill them. And then Lynn's like, yeah, they take damage, ooh, but you don't. They die by the tank standing on them. But then I was too embarrassed, so I never got in the comms and be like, actually, I was wrong. So I just kind of let it hang. And occasionally, I'm sure it was just accidental auto attacks, I'd see him attacking those summoners. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was a weird thing because like you had to like crush them effectively with like the tank soak circle, and then it made them disappear, and then like every round like one has to stay because you only get 2 soak circles to crush away the 3 that spawn. And so that's like kind of, I guess, like the soft enrage of the fight, which I guess by the way is called Imperator Aversion.
Yeah, no, it's I need to get on the ball again when it comes to mummy men and big void blueberries, it's hard for me to really care. I looked at this guy and I was just like, my sanded over. It's like recording a VHS over a previous recording. I will never remember who you are, guy.
Yeah, the name is crazy. Like, yeah, like I kind of agreed. Like the Ethereals, I don't know, they're just hard. We gotta, you know what we gotta do? They need Mr. Potato Head attachments for their face. Maybe like a pair of big lips or like a funny mustache that we can really help tell them apart.
Well, this guy's a Dominar, right?
Yeah, but they're kind of the same thing. They could still also have Mr. Potato Head things like on their face.
Voracious? You see, I can't even remember his real name. The one with a V that talks every 5 minutes. I can see him and go, that's Viscarius. And then Vicidius. And then as soon as his little text box fades away, I've forgotten his name.
Voracious. Or so like that's the second boss that we faced. The big guy that we were talking about, how he had like an interesting model. Also, Nippler? Or no?
Nippler.
So this is funny because wait,
yes.
I think Aaron was talking about somebody else. He was talking about Vicidius, right?
Yes, I was talking about Vicidius the Dominar.
But then boss number 2 is called Voracious, so it is very confusing. I can see. I don't remember what the fuck Voracious looked like. All I remember is his walls. I remember he had
if you go to
walls.
host chat, it's a big bug. There's like the bipedal, quad-armed, angry T-Rex model they love to keep throwing out. This is the biggest one.
And you know what? I'm just gonna say this right now. I am naming Voracious our sexiest NPC of the week, baby.
If you weren't, I would have.
Because he's less of a nippler and he's more of a crotchler. We are face to nuts.
A dickler, if you will. Perhaps.
And I will.
You know what? I can't say one of the only, but perhaps in my eyes, he opened my eyes and my butthole to the existence of dicklers.
You know, I feel like our Nippler spreadsheet always finds a way to add new categories. And, you know, Voracious, you are officially our first dickler, so welcome.
So, like, obviously the viewers at home, you can't see this right now. If you go to our host chat, you can't even see that either. If you go to our Discord at donotrelet.com, then we'll post it in images. But let me paint a picture for you. Big, 4-armed, Godzilla 2000 looking motherfucker. And the playing field, the battlefield, literally makes it so if you're standing in front of him, you are, like, right at his peen level. Right between the legs.
And not even that. A mechanic in the boss fight is he goes, walls on the right, walls on the left. But they're not parallel. They venture in like a sweet V into his crotch. He said, don't go running. You're going to taste all of this.
He literally puts down these walls in the sense of like, he like does like a DX chop at his crotch and puts down these walls.
He puts 2 hands on his head, he crotches his chip, and he shakes his little hips just like Luscious does when he says his name.
And I also just want to like say that like from a lot of these angles, like Voracious like has like probably the thickest like most built thighs of any model I've seen. It's like kind of it is very sexy.
Yeah, thick thighs save lives. His teeth. That's another story, I guess. He's got a lot of gum action going on there. Might need to floss a little more, but that's what makes him sexy down here.
We didn't even touch on the fact that he has 4 arms. Like, he can please you everywhere you need at one time.
That's what I was going to say is sexually pleasing. Yes, I get it. But also post-coital, he can be like, I'm going to go run an errand, but come on here, baby. And he pats his chest with his little arms. And I run up and I jump and he coddles me with his 2 little arms. And then with his big arms, he's free to like, I don't know, pump gas or get groceries or whatever. He can go about his business and he never needs to stop loving you.
Wow, I love that mental image of Voracious cradling you while pumping gas in his fucking. What car does Voracious drive, you think?
Not
Hummer?
a good one. He has terrible credit. he has an enormous 1996 Honda Fusion. It's the only one on the market. I wish it got better miles to the gallon.
Voidstorm doesn't pay very well.
The shocks on this thing are fucked. Do you know how rocky and bumpy this place is?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to imagine driving any car around the Voidstorm. So,
but I do want to imagine him driving me wild as we give him his gift. Not to spoil any future bits, we killed him, so I guess we're in his sexual memory, we're taking this and throwing it into the ravine he once stood in.
yeah. Also, there was randomly an achievement for like just letting him suck you up. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jump into him and he'll give you an achievement.
Jump into his little baby arms.
All right, and that's boss 2 of the raid. So what's boss 3? Boss 3 was
Boss 3 made me sad. Boss 3 made me cry tears because, okay, I get it. It's Salad Bar. He's back. But they didn't treat him good.
We do kind of stomp on his head.
Well, not even that. You walk up and it's like you see Xal'atath actively like picking apart, like she's like siphoning the purple out of him. And as you're fighting ads, he's like, I am Salad. Oh. Like he's like dying. And it's almost like his act of fighting you is his last bit of life. Because you see him snap back and he's like, no, I'm the king of the ethereals. I must rule. But it's like, that's all the implication is, I believe, even if he killed you, that's it. He would fall over. His little mummy wraps would float to the ground.
That's sad. I actually didn't even really notice that because, again, I was just like, how do I heal? What do I press? And for that one, we were only 2 healing it. So
that one, we were beautifully 3 healing it. My gift from the stars, Rosh, came back from his random midnight finals. And he said, let's get this thing going.
Yeah, and he came in for like literally the last pull of the night, and then we one-shot like the Fallen King Salvador fight, I think. It's like just to the point where it's like I felt like that was easier than the first 2. I honestly think the tic-tac-toe cha-cha slide boss was the hardest of the first 3.
Because Voracious, once you get what you're supposed to do, is like a nothing burger. It's like turn your brain off and listen to music. He has maybe 2 mechanics, which we will not go into because we already talked about him too much.
it makes me wonder how on heroic these are going to change. Because so far, I haven't felt like I've missed too much by not having DBM. Like, there are still call-outs happening from WoW's version, but I couldn't tell you what they're telling me. For the dragon boss, which is the 4th boss, it's just 2 dragons that fly around at the beginning. I don't know if it's going to happen to you guys. Let me know. But in the middle of the map, there's a big puddle of light that the light people tell you to stand in. And when you stand in it, a voice yells at me, and I'm assuming it's WoW's like DBM system that goes, shield on, barrier on, barrier on, barrier on, barrier on, and it repeats every time it ticks and reapplies it. So let me know when you get there, as I'm curious if that's just a setting I have on, or if that's everybody.
It sounds like a setting you have on, like an accessibility setting, perhaps.
I'll turn all those off,
Also,
though.
I'm really sad. I'm really... it makes my heart hurt because I looked at the raid dungeon journal, and it sounds like perhaps after the dragons, everything fucking falls apart. The entire back 9 of this thing is like, remember that guy you liked? They're twisted and sick and evil now. One of the bosses is literally called Light Crazed Zealots. And all 3 of them are just guys I did quests with like a week and a half ago. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, people, the Void be making people go crazy. Is that the 5th boss? Or probably the 5th boss. Can't be the last one.
That is
Which
the
also
5th boss,
makes me...
yes. But the 6th boss is one too.
Because I'm sitting here like, oh my god, we're actually already halfway through normal. Because there's only 6 bosses in this bitch. So it's like, are we about to get our shit rocked? Or are we just going to walk over it and get our shit rocked in heroic? You know what I mean? Like, that's the question.
Yeah, I don't know either. And then I feel like the thing is, like, if we, instead of just, like, getting stuck on one, should we just, like, start on, like, the Dream Rift tonight and get, like, that one boss out of the way?
I feel like, though, the one boss raid is going to be difficult. So I did it in LFR. And it does have something that I say traditionally we don't fare well in as a guild, and that's splitting the group up into 2 groups, and one goes down beneath and one stays up above, and it's all random who goes where.
No, that means it's going to take like 25 years for everybody to get used to both roles.
Exactly. And when you're in we'll call it the dream world, you have to kill ads. And if the ads aren't killed fast enough and they touch the boss, bad thing happen. And that's just LFR. There's got to be some other mechanic on normal, whether it be more mobs or abilities to interrupt. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's going to be hard, I think. It seems really fucking cool, though. Is there a story that leads us to this that I missed? Is there something in Herondar?
No, because I logged in this Tuesday being like, it's the start of a new season. It's the start of a brand new story. Let's go. And yeah, the only story quest was go to Voidspire, which you go, and then they're like, I don't go in the raid now. But there's nothing for Herondar. And I don't know if it's coming or if it's just like, Herondar Goddess's Dream's kind of a fun little one. If you miss it, who cares?
I guess I haven't, because I owned it LFR, right? I haven't gone to the area the raid is in. Maybe there's like little clickables or something nearby, because like this thing is terrifying. It looks like it looks like what it's called, what, an undreamt god. It looks like a fucking scary ass like Mexican folklore mythical beast, kind of chupacabra-esque.
There, I took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say, maybe because it's a variation on like the Diablo mount model, but yeah, the fact that it's like a wolf thing on like big beefy arms that walks around, yeah, very chupacabra-esque.
Still feels very Xavius-y. It's like the area it takes place in is like, it kind of reminds me of it. I mean, it is like Nerfthalm, but just like the map itself.
Do you get to see their goddess? Is she a hottie?
I didn't check. I was in my demon hunter, so my eyes weren't working.
Thank you, champion.
You're blinded.
I don't know who you are, but no, for sure. If you're gonna give me some shoes, some what was it? Some Darnathian sneakers, then that's all good.
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on this fucking raid and see what the hell's going on.
So that one exists. Tell me, other raid where you fight birds and another boss, is that open too? Because I can look at it in the journal.
I don't think so. I think that one is opening next week, unless I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's...
I spoiled myself by looking at it. There was only one boss I didn't know, and now I know it.
Well, if you didn't watch the end of Raid cinematic yet, right?
No, but Mitch told me about it in the spoiler section. For the very first time in my life, I was spoiled in my own Discord spoiler section. I haven't watched it, but I know what happens.
Aaron, we warn ourselves even. It says don't click unless you already know.
And he was even very nice. It came up on my thing as block of text. And then he said, end of raid spoilers. And I was like, oh, I'm good with those. And then I read it and I was like, oh, damn. Maybe I should have watched the video first.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty cool.
I was willing to spoil myself, but I got secondhand from his words.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week after you see it, because I think it's better to have it seen. But yeah,
I can see it during
cool.
this break.
Maybe we have other things to fill this with. We would say some content. And let the people get time to get it down before we talk about their spoilers. Okay, so get this. There was a fucking professions thing going on where people were able to repurchase their books constantly when you hit like a renown level or something. People were able to endlessly get profession points. Like infinitely to max.
So they're going to get that all stripped away and potentially even banned, right? Like, they should know better.
They already did. Because this happened last time, I'm pretty sure. In War with This, something similar happened. They banned everybody who had too many points for 7 days. First of all, that sucks, getting banned on Raid Week. But then also, supposedly, they have reset all of their knowledge points All of them. You can
All of them?
All of
I was about to
them.
say, I'm like 50 in the hole, and I didn't cheat. I've just been picking up sticks whenever I find them.
Yeah, so like fucking good. Like honestly, the ban should have been longer. Like you couldn't lose by accident. Like there's no way. Like you surely would have known this was not intended if you're buying multiple.
Yeah, I feel like you buy like one and then you see that it's still there. You buy another one, see it's still there, and you're like, oh, this is not intended. Then you report it as a bug, like a normal person.
I just think it's really funny that WoW was like, we're gonna wait until the week of which is also is kind of crazy because like I'm like, okay, well guys, the market's kind of fucked though because they're able to make things cheaper than everybody else. So everything costs an ass ton right now. Costs way more than it did last season. It still costs a lot last season, don't get me wrong, but it's like 25k for like a fucking like weapon enchant, or no, sorry, 50k for weapon enchants currently when I checked. I'm like, what? So we'll see. We'll see what the fuck happens.
You know what? I'm sorry. I've drank a lot of Seagram spiked slamming me happy
Still
wrestle
WWE?
juice.
Yeah.
Like I said, Cubby Bub needs a spot on the next Raw because she exclusively
She's
drinks.
sponsored.
She exclusively drinks Seagram's Escapes spiked WWE juice, to the fact that she goes to liquor stores and asks, "Do you have the bomb and blueberry flavor?"
Oh shit. She's getting on a first name basis with it.
There was a liquor store that said, "We have 6 remaining," and she said, "Give me all 6, please." If they ever discontinue this, I don't know if my wife will ever drink again.
I was gonna say, you might want to stock up because sometimes I feel like those branded deals will end sooner than you expect.
Trust me, I've fallen in love with every temporary Taco Bell item under the sun. Every time they set me up, I fall in love, and then they rip it from me a month later. Speaking of rip, I've activated the rip cord. It's season 1 of Mythic Plus. That means that you can do ones with numbers, correct?
Actually, not even yet.
Okay, I wondered because I had some real rippers in my Mythic Zeros, and I was like, don't you have a place to go?
So, like, the thing was that, like, it's the season's dungeons now are the ones you can run as zero. So that's why, like, you know, people are running, like, Skyreach or Algathar instead of
That did unfortunately happen to me. For the weekly, I picked Run a Dungeon, and I said, fucking any of them. And then I went into my Yazra Cavern, and I looked, and I said, oh, shit, sorry, guys. I don't know if this is one of the monthly dungeons, so bye. So I jumped ship and went to the Argentina, which is infinitely easier.
Oh, I think it's gonna be my new favorite thing whenever, like, the weekly quest has, like, the Argentina as an option. It's like, why would I do 6 world quests or, like, you know, exert myself too much with something else when I can just go to the Argentina and, you know, cheers some people.
Especially because the cheersing is not a mutual action. I can buy 3 of them and say, you, okay, I cheers you, fuck you, and then I leave, and then get a belt, which I saw someone said there was a bug where you're only getting one kind of item for all the rewards, and I'm buying into the conspiracy theory because I keep getting champion level belts, and I was like, I don't need them. I got champion level belts.
You just, you know, it's a wholesale on belts. They're giving them all to you.
I guess so. And it's like every kind of content in the raid. I won a belt, I won Cass's sloppy second belts. Delve. Valeria's like, look at this. I found a belt. And I'm like, ugh. Khadgar at the Argentina's like, thank you for cheersing my friends. Here's a belt. And I'm like, I'm tired of belts.
No more belts. There was something that wasn't Delves. I just lost it.
So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. When do numbers open up? Because I need some of these tryhards to like leave the lower numbers for a little bit.
So the Mythic Plus season starts next Tuesday. That's also when Mythic Raid opens up. It's actually Mythic Week. Mythic Plus, Mythic Raid. So for right now, but also right now, if you didn't know, Mythic Zeros have gone from a weekly lockout to a daily lockout. So if you can run them a lot more than you're able to. But be sure that you're doing the seasonal ones and not doing the 8 new ones, if that makes sense.
And if you see Curvaza, female Void Elf, Demon Hunter, Vengeance Tank, just go ahead and leave. They're going to make your next 20 minutes real difficult. They're not going to die. You will, and they'll let you know about it. In that moment, the paths diverged. A large Ukrainian man striking their internet box meant that the boys were sent into one dimension, and Aaron was left in another. Let us head back to the Chicago Gentlemen, stranded in our realm.
Oh no. Did Curvaza get Aaron? He cut off and now he's silent. Oh no, is it us? Did our internet just drop right now as we speak?
Yeah, I think it did.
Alright, so we're gonna keep the recording going. You message Aaron, and I'm gonna guess what he said. I think Aaron was talking about how Curvaza... Wait, what do you think Curvaza did? Curvaza probably fucking was rude, being a Demon Hunter tank. Did they say mean things about you specifically?
And now back to the other realm. Also, they're from, Hyjal, I think. I'm sorry, Curvaza Hyjal. Yeah, I'm using my platform with a little bit of a listenership to call you out. Stop fucking pulling everything! We can't do that! We're actually Mythic 0 level, everyone else. Just because you don't have anywhere to go doesn't mean that you need to cause us pain. And that was my rant.
Hello?
Okay, I got you.
Okay, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we're back, everybody. The void storm is closed. Okay, so the last thing I heard you say, Aaron...
Curvaza fucking took them out. She pulled too much, and the latency killed them.
Is that what they were doing in there?
So, yes, Curvaza of Hyjal, which... I was like, you guys are really no-selling. Are you not on my side on this? It was a demon hunter who was jumping and pulling everything in a Mythic 0. And I was like, this is really cute. But, the other 4 of us were not that level. And at one point, this is in Seed of the Triumvirate. They do a Shathid level black flip and then glide past an enemy. And I was like, we can't do that. So we had to pull 3 extra things. And they're like, what are you, R-slurs? Why did you pull extra packs? And it's
God, Jesus.
I was like, brother, we can't backflip into a glide. Not only are we low level, we're not a demon hunter. And the thing is, we kept dying. They weren't dying because they had 800k health. I was with fucking Mythic Jim himself. And I was like, this is such doo-doo butt. Why are you here? But it makes sense that all of these guys will move on to their greater plans, their higher pastures next week.
Yeah, hopefully they get it. Oh, they're going to make the Mythic 2s and 3s unbearable for everybody else. So that's going to be a real fucking fun contest with the Zervasas of the world in there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is always kind of the way it goes at the beginning of a season. And I feel like because this midnight rollout, the beginning of the season has been a month and a half, or will continue to be that for a while. I feel like we're going to have some mismatches and a bunch of the lower level content for a bit.
Have you run Skyreach yet?
No, that's the only old one that I've run. I have not run Skyreach. I've not run Pit of Sauron, but it sounded like it was really tough before you got... I internalized this moment. So last night, I hopped on a little bit, and it sounded like you guys were in Pit of Sauron. And then Papa Cheese goes, "Oh, I'm gonna eat some dinner." And you said, "Okay, bye." And then Immune goes, "Bye." And everyone left. And I said, "Okay, I guess I'm here now.
Well, dinner, I think as you joined, before you joined the chat, Alex went downstairs to grab our dinner that was delivered. So you missed
so
that, you missed that part.
everyone in Chicago had dinner. Okay, I thought it was just like, Papa Cheese is gone, party's gone, and I was like, epic. Okay, I guess I'll do quests on my own.
No, I was staring at a plate of nachos and chips and sauce to my right. I was eating chips during Pittisauron, and he was like, "Don't stand there," and I was like, munching away.
Because we tried to like order our Mexican food to be delivered like at a time where we could eat it before raid, but we also wanted to run a bunch of M0s, so we tried to time it so that it would arrive after our last dungeon, but it arrived a little early, so both of us were in dungeons as the food arrived. And I was actually in Skyreach, but Slide was with Papa Cheese in the Pit of Sauron, so I was on the last boss of the Skyreach, and yeah, I died on the last boss because I had to go get the food.
Loser.
Meanwhile, I had the opposite thing during my very fateful Seat of the Triumvirate. That is an interesting dungeon I haven't run in forever. They just kind of throw bosses at you. Like, I was texting you guys, like, in dungeon, see you in 20, and then I looked up, and some guy was at 20%. I was like, oh, that was the first boss.
Yeah, because, like, the first boss, I think, is just kind of like, I don't know if he's padding, but he's definitely just, like, outside in the middle of a bunch of trash mobs.
And all the bosses, except for Laura, except for my mommy, are, like, just models. Like, it's like, you've killed 3 blueberries, but this 4th one, that's the 3rd boss, by the way.
Yeah, and then, like, the last one is, like, bosses back to back. So you kill a boss, and then, yeah, you get the one right there. So, yeah, it's a weird setup in there, though. There's, like, it's such an open space where things wander so far that it's like, oh, this is some interesting design going on in here. Also, have you guys tried a nightmare hunt yet? Have you made it to the nightmare?
I have
not.
So
how does one unlock those? Because when I went to my good friend, he only gave me normals and hards, and I've been hanging out with my wife, so I have not done as many. But is it just you need to defeat them all, and then he'll give you nightmare?
Yeah. So it's the reputation bar. So before, the bar with him was locked at 3. And now if you just do 4 hunts for your 4 heroic hunts, those 4 will get your bar up to renown level 4, and then that unlocks a little quick story chain, and then you get nightmare hunts. Let me say though,
I see.
You need to be locked in when you do nightmare hunts. Normally when I do hunts, I'll just kind of dig around. Maybe I'll get up and walk around and come back, or I'll herb, or I'll fart around a bit. You can't do that. If you look away for a fucking second, you're going to get jumped by your hunt, and he's going to kill you pretty fucking fast.
Like, Slide wasn't even away from his desk or anything. He was just looking at his other screen for like 5 seconds, and then he was murdered brutally.
Yeah, I completely underestimated. I was like, what's nightmare mean? I've seen heroic. No, it's actually pretty hard, and I think that's a good thing. It's kind of fun. There's also like affixes, like, ooh, look out, a spooky ghost is going to touch you. It has a line connected to you. And I was like, whatever. And it touched me, and I just died immediately. It literally just killed me. I was like, oh. And then also it was like, ooh, Asterion says, kill something or there will be consequences, and you have like 20 seconds to find something and kill it, and if you don't, something bad happens, and I'm assuming you just die is my assumption. I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, so
you haven't fucked around and found out what the consequences were yet?
That's what I wanted out of Prey system. I want you to be on your toes. I feel like all the other difficulties are just an annoyance, but ooh. The unfortunate part is that does seem out of my wheelhouse as a lowly little mage, but I'm excited to I'll try them now and then get decked, and then maybe like 2 months from now I'll be like, I'm finally the eye level to actually do these.
And the rewards are supposed to be good, so I don't remember what level they're giving, because I haven't completed one yet. I just unlocked it today, early before recording. So I'm curious to find out. People were saying it, but I don't remember these goddamn names and numbers, especially now they're all new numbers.
Delves opened up, and I feel like my friend Valera doesn't have as many silly Billy items as my friend Bran. I feel like perhaps she takes herself too seriously, because I already have the achievement for giving her all of the items that she needs.
She does have a holy hand grenade. I like that.
She does. Oh, I do love a good Monty Python reference. Life of Bran, am I right?
Make it sound like you don't like a Monty Python reference.
I have a complicated history with Monty Python references.
What, did the Monty Python crew bully you?
No, when you're in the theater community, some people travel in just strictly Monty Python references, and you try and talk to them about anything else, and they're like, and it's like, oh, you're like not a person. You're kind of just a little like referential goofster, huh?
I didn't know those people existed, but I guess I also often avoided theater kids, so that probably helps that.
It also doesn't help that when you say Monty Python, they're not coming at you with all the material. You're pretty much just doing like Spam-A-Lot and Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, I would have guessed Holy Grail.
I'm sorry. Well, Spam-A-Lot is a stage show of Holy Grail.
Oh, I didn't know it had a stage show, like a Broadway.
Yeah, like a theater show.
Huh. I'm learning every day. But yeah, her stuff does seem just to be more straight laced, and like her voice. I mean, I get she's not Bran, and like I don't know what funny lines are you gonna give her, but just I don't know, make her a little more funny.
I also feel like she's talking a lot. I guess Bran was talking a lot too, but maybe I just like got to the point where like I tuned him out, and like I haven't gotten to that point with her yet.
Also, I'm mad at World of Warcraft because they didn't tell me what was going on. I was doing a bunch of other content to try and get keys for delves. And I was doing stuff and I was like, I'm not getting any keys. And I go into my first delve and I'm like, you know what? I just want to do it to talk about it on the show. And you roll up and then she goes, here, champion, here's 8 keys for nothing. And I was like, did someone not tell me about the keys? Why randomly am I given a bunch of them at this first venture?
So you now, when you enter a delve, if you have the currency to smush into a key, it will automatically smush your currency into a single key.
Okay.
That way you don't have to go to the end and be like, oh man, I don't have a key. And they probably were noticing people just had a bunch of funny money in their backpack and like, why didn't they fucking open these goddamn chests?
Yeah, probably because like people were like didn't know how to do that, I guess.
Because I knew how to do that, but I was not willing to do that. So yes, that does make sense why I walked into my first one, they're like, here's 8 keys. I was like, oh, okay.
My God, you had so many coffer shards, but I guess you're doing your World Quest tour, right? You're picking them all up.
Yes, I did all the world quests. I've done all the world quests up to this point that I can. I tried to do delves, mostly because it was really funny to me that sometimes you could get a Valyria item, and then you'd get it, and then you try and put it, before this week, you try and put it in there, and Bran would be like, what's going on, brother? Level 98. I was like, what are you doing here? But now, unfortunately, Bran is lost to me. It's exclusively level 14 Valyria.
What if they just put Bran in a Valyria outfit for April Fools and you get to hear all of his lines, but you got all the sexy
I'd love
allurements.
that. I'd love that. Oh my God, this licorice armor's so constricting.
What's the highest level delve you've done so far?
I think 8. So I'm a very big proponent of I'm here for a fun time, not a long time. And so I do tend to stay below the recommended eye level. So because my fucking shirt's holding me back, I can only get to whatever, I think 2 is what we're working with, 240. And so that's 8. But I did see people in the guild, primarily healers, so it might be easier for healers, are all fucking somewhat lock picks. Got
Saracen Hawk?
That's Saracen Hawk. Saracen Hawk, good fucking job, because you got Immortal Spelunker on week 1 of this thing being open. She did an 11 without dying week 1, and I was like, Good for you. That's going to be me in like 4 months.
I think as long as you just pull small, then you can get through it. Because like so even like when I was doing it last season,
Not
just
me.
pull one at a time.
I have no healing. By the way, sorry.
Valyria, make Valyria a healer. What do you mean?
No, she heals, but I mean, when she's fighting guys and I'm fighting guys, there's a bit of time in between where shit's just pushing my shit in. I can't fight that much. But you interrupted. I wanted to thank good old Hacky for talking to you about the shield business. Hello, Hacky. I didn't know you actually listened to the show, by the way. And I changed my shield that I complained about last week. It's back to normal. Thank you.
Now you got more thick shieldings.
Not even. It's a reduced shield, but I can precast it, and it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away in 4 seconds. Instead, now I have a castable ice wall that I try to do in PvP and always forget, and so it's not useful. But it's better than having my flame barrier be wrong.
Correct flame barrier.
But to answer your earlier question, I think I've only done like up to a 4 delve because I'm notorious not non-delver. But I need to get like bump that shit up soon. That's one of my goals for this week.
Don't forget, if you get a treasure map, save it for your 11s, because the gear will be much better than using it at the lower ones. Ooh, it's me from the future, correcting myself from the past. You don't need to do delves 9, 10, 11 for the gear. That's just for the mythic crests when those come out. But 8 and above get you that gear. So get in there, hustlers. Hustle up some of that gear. Okay, bye. Get that. And your coffer keys, honestly. I wouldn't even open a coffer chest that wasn't.
I wouldn't even
11.
open a coffer chest. Spoken like a true demon hunter. Spoken like Curvaza. You and Curvaza are probably like this. You guys meet each other in the Fellhammer and you just talk about how infantile I am.
What are you talking about? It was a general recommendation. You shouldn't use your keys on it. You get better gear. You get better gear at the higher one.
My shirt is blue, and they will not give me anything better.
Use the crafting
The game
system.
refuses.
You know a couple tailors.
I mean, like I'm one.
The only tailor I know is Tinker Tailor Spy.
Who the fuck is Tinker Tailor Spy?
Was that the full name of the movie? It was the movie that made my dad say, I'm not going to the theater anymore to watch films.
Damn. It was really bad then.
Like, I don't think I've ever watched a movie quite that bad that makes me never want to see a movie ever again.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, 2011. My father has refused to go to the movie theater for 15 years because this movie was so bad to him. Which was crazy because it has a 7 out of 10 on IMDb and an 84%. So I guess it just really wasn't for him.
Tinker Tailor Nolalis. That's right. They were doing a midnight mythic, what are they calling it? Not world first. For the Delve boss this season. A Hall of Fame is what we're looking for. Hall of Fame Delve Nemesis boss, Nolias. No more. You can no longer be in the Hall of Fame. After 1 day, not even a full day, of this patch being out, all 4,000 spots in North America and Europe have been filled for killing Nolilius.
Which also I feel like is crazy. I feel like I would always need a little bit more gear to even attempt the question mark ones. But also I remember that they had to like increase this number, right? Like it was going like faster than they even intended.
They did increase it, I think, before it launched. But so Papa Cheese didn't know this existed, and he was about to go to bed, and I was like, oh, did you hear about the Hall of Fame thing for the Delve boss? And he was like, what's a Delve boss? And I was like, oh, I guess, yeah, you wouldn't know about the Delve bosses that were in War Within. I was like, yeah, there's this dude that's kind of like a Mage Tower fight, and you can go try to fight him. And he goes, okay, I'm going to go try to do that. And he goes in, and he's like, whoa, this is cool. And you can see the Hall of Fame number before you go into Delve. It shows you how many spots are left. So by that point, it was like 3,000 out of 4,000, 1,000 spots left. And he was like, oh my God, I can do this. This man spent 2.5 hours, maybe almost 3 hours trying to kill this boss last night when he had to go to bed.
Like he like had work the next day, but he was staying up until like 3 a.m. to try to get to like become the last one in the Hall of Fame.
He got so close. He had a couple of 0% wipes, and each time he goes back in, you can see the number going up and up. 3,500, 3,600, 3,700. People slowly but surely, it's filling out in real time. And he had his last pull. It was like 3,951. And he died, and he came out, and that was it. It capped over that 2-hour window. Which is crazy. How are you going to do a Hall of Fame that gets filled in like the first 22 hours of it being out? Not even. Like, it was like 18 hours.
Yeah, that is actually insane.
I guess you get a title and you get an achievement. I think you get them out anyway. You get Fabled Vanquisher of Anolius. But it was tuned for tanks, like, because he's a bear tank, so he was able to do it easier and survive. Like, I think if I went in there, I'd just probably get destroyed in a single hit. Because I'm a squishy mage-y character. I think, Aaron, you have more defensives than I do at this point, with that shield being back.
Stop that. I know you're the funny bunny weird new one, but I know you guys have more survivability.
No.
This week I'm anti Demon Hunter. I don't want to hear anything about them doing anything.
You just don't want to hear about them at all.
Exactly. You know what I do want to hear about? It's been so long. We've been percolating on it. The housing contest is over, and we have determined the winners.
Yes, by we mean we spun a random wheel with all of our participants, and we will now read these names in a very dramatic fashion to see who wins $25 of Heartsteel or shirt.
Yeah, so we have 3 winner babies. Our first winner, drumroll please. Gershom!
Ba-ba-da-bum.
Our second winner.
Make it more dramatic.
Well, give me another drum roll. Doops!
Ooh, I like saying doops. That's a good.
And our third and final winner. Wooly!
Oh shit! Thrall's balls. Where's Johnny Tips? We gotta.
Sorry, Dupes. Johnny Tips takes the lead just for brand synergy.
Yeah, we gotta give it to all 3 of them. It's actually really funny that we got 2/3 and dupes.
Yeah, no, but thanks to everyone for sending in their house photos. We enjoyed them.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yep, we scoured them from a couple sources, couple places. The Boo Sky, which you can find us there at. I think it's just Do Not Relent, right? Do we have to pot it? I don't remember actually. You'll see the Scarlet Flame one way or another. So yeah, we're gonna reach out to y'all with your decision if you want a T-shirt or $25 of Heartsteel. You gotta say it like Oprah, like how Oprah would do it. Look under your chairs, everybody.
It's $25 worth of Heartsteel
Or a T-shirt. It is Do Not Relent. .bsky.social. That's it. We were there on the ground floor. Nobody wanted that one before we got to it.
We oft have to fight the religious Christian community for the Do Not Relent tags on various social medias, but we beat them. DNR 1, Christianity 0.
And now it's time for our top 2 bottom boot medium mood. Aaron, kick us off with this this special.
Damn, what has been good this week? You know what it was, and I don't mean to be a stinker, but our guild's 2 raid teams they're 2 halves of one whole. It doesn't matter who finishes first, who does what, but I do have a top 2 for Lynn raid team.
Toot.
I'm not gonna lie, folks. There was some silly billy times during tic-tac-toe that I said, we're the loser team. But we managed to pull it together. We pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we at least tied, technically, the other raid team. So I'm glad both raid teams are on the same level, technically, if you look by the books.
By the books.
So, Immune, what's your TTBBMM?
Well, I have a top toot as well.
Toot.
You know, it's just that raid is here. I do love raid night. It feels different than like it has in the past. With like, maybe things will like solidify more as like people remember that raid happened or whatever the fuck was happening. I don't know. And I am excited to see how we handle the fact that there's going to be multiple raids at once. So I feel like, have we experienced that before?
No. This is our first time experiencing can do different raid at the same time.
Yeah, so that alone is kind of top two worthy. It's like unprecedented territory for us, if you will. But yeah, no, just a general like raid is here. I love the community of our guild coming together twice a week to raid. It just is nice, you know. Slidewhistle, finish this.
I got a top 2, baby.
Triple two.
My top 2 is that I took off 3 days this week at the end of the week. So I was off today. I'm off tomorrow. I'm off Friday. And I get to enjoy all of this content that we've been given.
What happens at your job? I feel like every other week you're like, I'm taking off the whole week, baby.
Yep, they'll be fine. But there's just so much to fucking do that like I'm like, oh my god, like I want to do PvP. I've been crate farming, which is just like following around the crates and with people and then getting your conquest. I've been doing my delves to catch up on my delves. I've been there's Mythic Zeros to do every day now instead of just like every week. I'm running 2 characters, one who I did not think was going to be needed to heal so quickly. So now I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta do both these things on both these characters to get them both geared, just so they're both ready. The nightmare difficulty really surprised me with how nightmare it was, and I'm excited to do that. But doing it in war mode is so it's so scary because if you die, you lose like all of your fucking progress. But I'm dying to the fucking guy anyway, not even to the people I'm fighting. So I don't know. I think I have a lot to dig into, and I'm just excited for my future in the world of Warcraft.
You're excited.
Excited.
Speaking of excited, I am so excited to announce this series of names. These are our friendly, funny, silly little patrons. Ahoy Vince, Azarin, Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Mystic the Orc, Crucifix, Alternator, Chris M, Saracen Hawk, Justin, give me back my PhD, Arcane. Remy.
Every time I hear Chiodos, I get a full boner. And I wanted to hop off the bike before I poked you in the back.
Kick Puncher, Sugar Bear.
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman. Dex, Jerome. Ali, Adorno. Gershom.
If you want pretty house, why you play ugly faction?
Wooly! Who says, Void Elves rule and Slide drools.
Do you agree with the statement that Void Elves rule, considering your Demon Hunter was a Void Elf?
I think that both Void Elves and Slide, who plays a Demon Hunter, are both in the penalty box this week.
Meow.
Duff the Horde Pooper Cooper. Calcus. Let's see here. In lieu of looking up any jokes or flirts that already exist, let me try and make one up. Here's a Blood Elf one. You think our buildings are tall and pointy and red? Wait till you see my penis. It's been inflamed for many a year. I need to get it checked out, but we don't believe in modern medicine. Cilantro, Alex A, Vanderlyle, have a nice day, and Will, aka Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
You can join those rootin', tootin', shootin' patrons over at patreon.com/do not relent. Find us on Blue Sky at do not relent. All links can be found at do-not-relent.com. That's us. That's the link tree. Look us up. Hook us up. Lick us. Give us ratings. Do something. Do anything. Do nothing. Do whatever. Who cares? What about you guys? Where are you at?
Well, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex or on the Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at the Bigacheesy on Twitters.com. And you can watch me play Vigigrams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. Don't worry, I'm going to be streaming all weekend because I don't have to dog sit and my wife has to work extra hard because of Eid. Hell yeah, brother! She's got a cover for a man who finally gets to eat.
Woo! I think that's good news.
I mean, it's a shame she has to work so hard, but I'm glad my man finally gets to eat.
Hope you chow down. This is a sound of a fidget spinner. Do you hear it?
I'm sorry, I was too busy hearing my man Naeem get to chow down. The Muslim faith says that he finally gets to eat between the hours
that's what it
of
means.
between the hours of 9 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Okay, I thought he was like sick or he wasn't able to eat or like
Nope,
maybe he was
he's not.
nauseous.
The only thing he's sick with is the sickness of modern religion.
Whoa, hey everybody, we're out of here. See you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.